Welcome to the BreachLock platform. This demo is to introduce a new feature called Attack Surface Analytics. First, when the user signs into the BreachLock platform, they will automatically be taken to the organization's dashboard, which reveals a real-time, absolute transparent view of your testing scope from assets, vulnerabilities, risk severity, and more. However, for purposes of this demo, we will be focused on the new feature, Attack Surface Analytics. Simply click on ASM on the left side of the dashboard and a collapsible view of features will appear. Here you will see the new tab called Attack Surface Analytics. This feature was developed to provide users with a detailed analysis of their assets discovered during attack surface discovery and was designed to help security practitioners solve the problem of what are the inherent security risks by looking at just one overview screen. Before we go into detail about this feature, please note that these analytics you see in this dashboard are from your asset discovery. We would like to point out that nothing changes under data breach, pen testing scans, status, schedule, or vulnerabilities. So there are no changes to assets, and that's important to note. Now let's click on the new feature, Attack Surface Analytics. Immediately, the user can see a lot of useful and valuable information. This is a view of anything discovered through asset discovery, and the screen represents a rolled-up view or visualization of two sections. On the left, you have the filters to tailor the view of the right side. You can see domains, subdomains, corresponding IP addresses, and more. The left side is a filtering capability, and the right side is the asset intelligence view based on the filters selected. The left filtering capability is an information block from asset discovery and the parent campaign. On the right side is all corresponding subdomains, IP addresses, and technologies that are included one domain at a time. Select the target assets. In this case, we're going to select domain testfire.net for demo purposes, and you will see the subdomains on the right side populated. The screen captures thumbnails, which in this case may depict a login screen, and you can see which subdomains have a login page and which ones don't. Next, you will see a shield sign next to each subdomain. Just hover over the shield, and you will see whether the WAF or firewall is enabled or not, and if it was enabled, who the service provider is for that firewall. In this case, you can see that a lot of the subdomains and their firewalls are not enabled or disabled, which tells the user about the inherent risks associated with these firewalls. The next block of data is IP addresses and associated infrastructure. Just hover over the icon next to the IP address, and it will let you know whether it is reachable or unreachable. It will also identify the ports that are associated with this IP address. The third block identifies which technologies are being used under the subdomain. This is valuable intel for anyone to see, as it will show deprecated technology, meaning the organization may be sitting on a big inherent risk. This is where all subdomain and IP addresses and their correlation are visible, and users are able to analyze the analytics available within the view. Under technologies, the user can see the security certificate and whether a website or subdomain does or does not have an active certificate. And if not, then there is an inherent security risk that exists. However, this certificate is active. Under certificates is the cipher code used in the certificate, and below this is the TLS version. By looking at this, you can see that the site is running on TLS version 1.2. However, this is not the most recent version of TLS, so it shows an inherent security risk, and the user should update the security protocol to the latest 1.3 version. Now, let's move back to the left side to the filtering capability. Here, you can click on the domain to see a complete overview of the intelligence on the right. To drill down, the user can click on a subdomain. You can click on 1, 2, 3, or as many subdomains as you like. But for demo purposes, we're going to click on the subdomain demo-testfire.net. Next is the subdomain reachability. So we can click on reachable, and you will see that the subdomain was reachable in this case. However, if we click on not reachable, you will see that this no longer applies. Next, the user will see an IP address associated with that subdomain. The moment you filter for a specific target asset, again, in this case, we have selected subdomain demo.testfire.net, you will see the IP addresses populate and associated ports. Next is the certificates, those that are active, expired, or not found. In this case, we can see that the certificate is active. However, if we were to click on expired, you would see that that does not apply, or not found, and that does not apply to that certificate associated with that subdomain. Next, you can see the ports that are associated again with the IP address, the code or the cipher suite, and then again the TLS version, which is 1.2, and we need to update that, and then whether the firewall is enabled, which as we said earlier, it is not, but in this case is disabled, and again is an inherent security risk. Now, in one view, let's go back and unclick all of these so we can see a complete overview once again of that domain. Now, in one view, you might see no data or not found. This means that the subdomains are or were registered under the parent domain, and they are discovered as part of the external attack surface. However, at the point of assessing them for reachability, they are not reachable. It can also be the case wherein someone registered a subdomain and later took down the application. So in summary, the new Attack Surface Analytics feature as part of Attack Surface Management helps security practitioners to easily filter and view the inherent risks within the organization just by looking at one screen. This concludes the demo for Attack Surface Analytics on the BreachLock platform. Thank you.